Well, it looks like Angel Reese. Well, it looks like she's just been caught in what could certainly be taken as in a lie. All right? All these things that she says she has dealt with over the last year, all these encounters of racism.
Angel Reese, the most coddled, babied professional athlete in all of sports, continues to be the most babied and coddled professional athlete in all of sports, continues to have her peers say, "You go, girl. You be unapologetically yourself. Don't worry how rude, how arrogant, and how disrespectful you are. Don't worry about all the lies that you perpetrate. Don't worry about that."
Remember the guy that I guess, was out there waiting for him supposedly, and when the team was coming out, and of course we saw footage of that, and there was nothing malicious to it whatsoever that anybody could see. And then of course the Indiana Fever fans were yelling racist things or making racist noises out around the court. WNBA did an investigation, found nothing.
It is embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. And the fact is that originally it's, oh yeah, we're looking towards everything. Then they had to double down. They actually redacted this statement. They redacted a statement. They redacted the statement saying we're looking at everything, saying no, we're actually not looking at most of the stuff. We're looking at a lie spread on social media that went viral. We are looking into a literal lie spread on social media that got spoken into fact. We're looking at a lie.
For you, Angel, tonight you were extremely efficient and played with a lot of poise and confidence tonight. For for all the scrutiny you do receive online and stuff of that nature, what kind of messages a game like this send to them, as well as just the kind of momentum that this can build for you throughout the season?
Yeah, obviously don't worry about what's going on online. I get so much love in person. I haven't ever had a negative encounter in person ever. And I've been going through this for 3 years. I've never had an encounter in person that was negative. So people online are behind a keyboard for a reason, and I don't worry about that stuff. I trust my work. My teammates trust me. And I was telling Miller today, she felt like she was having a rough day, and I was like, how many times have I had a rough day? And you picked me up. So don't get down on yourself. I know my teammates have my back, my coaches have my back, and that's all that really matters. I don't have to prove anything to anybody but myself and my teammates.
Second row on the left.
Angel, I know tonight was not as you expected.
Can I say something? This is
that's wild.
The WNBA just gets more explosive by the day. A whirlwind of controversy has erupted around WNBA star Angel Reese. The storm began not on the court, but on social media after a heated game between the Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever. While the scoreboard might tell one story, what happened after the final whistle lit up headlines, trended across social platforms, and ignited conversations across the sports world. Angel Reese, known for her unapologetic confidence and fierce competitiveness, found herself at the center of what many are calling a targeted attack, not just by players or teams, but potentially by the league itself. The catalyst? A hard foul committed against her by fellow rookie and rising star Caitlin Clark, a player who, like Reese, has quickly become a face of the new generation of the WNBA. The foul, delivered during the fourth quarter, was deemed a common foul by the officials during the game. However, video replays showed Clark using what many viewers called an unnecessary shove that knocked Reese to the floor. While Reese got up and kept playing, what followed has raised eyebrows. Far beyond the basketball community, it all began after a Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever matchup. Social media erupted with accusations that Fever fans hurled racist insults at Angel Reese while she was shooting free throws. Posts claiming racial slurs were shouted spread like wildfire. The narrative? Angel Reese was being targeted by hostile racist fans in Indiana, and the WNBA needed to step in. Major media outlets picked up the story without verification. Pundits framed it as part of a larger narrative. Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise was bringing out ugliness in the WNBA, and Angel Reese, one of the league's most polarizing stars, was being unfairly attacked. After the game, the Chicago Sky requested that the WNBA review the play, but instead of focusing solely on the foul itself, the WNBA announced that they would be conducting a broader investigation into the physicality of the Chicago Sky's playstyle in general. This raised immediate questions. Why was the team under investigation for responding to physical play in kind? Why were Angel Reese
These
and her
alleged
teammates
incidents
being
actually
scrutinized
occurred.
more intensely than others?
This is where it gets really interesting.
About talking about an investigation with your achievements with an investigation.
Yeah, I think we agree. I think we're, in compliance with them, with the league, and obviously there's no room or space in our game for hate. So we're compliant with everything that's going on.
Coach, when did you become aware that there was hate speech that happened?
I think when everyone else did. I think that it's something that we heard about, and so again, we're just forthcoming with anything that the league is able to do investigation-wise.
Three-time BET Sports Woman of the Year, Angel Reese, says she doesn't pay attention to what folks say about her online because no one has ever said a negative word about her in person. Uh-oh. So what have you been talking about for the last 17 or 18 months? Uh-oh. I hope she realizes she just admitted this and did so on camera with audio. Yeah, nobody's ever going to let her let this down now. Quote, I get so much love in person. I've never had a negative counter in person ever. What did the league just go through 3 weeks ago? Over what was supposed to have been this race hoax. It turned out to be a race hoax, but this big situation in which the Indiana Fever fans were hollering racist remarks and making racist noises. And the league, 10 days this went on. This fiasco went on. And Angel Reese just admitted to the world she's never encountered a single negative person
mounting pressure, the WNBA
at all.
took swift action. An investigation was launched into the claims of racist fan behavior at the Indiana Fever home game. And this wasn't a surface-level review. The league interviewed dozens of fans, security, personnel, team staff, and reviewed extensive video and audio footage. The conclusion? No evidence. Zero. Nothing in the hours of footage or interviews substantiated the claims. No player, coach, or official heard any slurs. Not even Angel Reese's own coach, Tyler Marsh, had heard
how
of the
people jump to
incident
conclusions
until he saw
without
it on
knowing what
social
really
media.
happened. The
league is also taking a big L because there's no apologies to any fans whatsoever on this totally BS statement released by the WNBA. Yeah, you found nothing. That's great. That's accurate. Guess who told you would find nothing? The entire Indiana Fever fan base said you weren't going to find anything. But this league that has never turned a profit.
Angel Reese, she goes on and she talks about how she doesn't hear about the outside noise, how she's never had a negative encounter in real life, never had a negative encounter in real life. But Ben, there's no way. There's no way she's never had a negative encounter. You see? This is proof of the negative encounter. The WNBA even conducted an investigation about this negative encounter. No way Angel Reese said that. No way she did. Angel Reese doesn't care about y'all. It is what it is. She's never had a bad encounter in real life, never had a bad interaction with a fan in real life. Then what was the whole point of this WNBA sham investigation? If you never had a bad encounter with a fan in real life, if you've never had a bad interaction with a fan in real life, then why not just come out, earn yourself some brownie points and say, come on, nothing took place here. These are just some Twitter trolls. These are my Reese's Pieces making up news just to keep me relevant. Why didn't you just come out and say that, Angel Reese? You'd probably get a little bit more, what's that word? Respect. Doing something honorable like that.
To understand the backlash, it's important to look at the context. Reese, who played a pivotal role in LSU's national championship run, has consistently drawn both admiration and criticism for her outspoken demeanor, her confidence, and her unapologetic celebration of success. When she taunted Caitlin Clark during the NCAA tournament with Clark's own "you can't see me" gesture, she was called classless by some and a queen by others. Fast forward to the WNBA, where both players have made an immediate impact, but with drastically different receptions. Clark has been heralded as a savior of the league by some media outlets, with commentators praising her every move, even in games where her performance may have been subpar. Meanwhile, Reese, along with other black players like Chennedy Carter, has received harsher scrutiny, especially when engaging in aggressive or physical play, which has long been a staple of professional basketball. Many fans and analysts believe there is a racial undertone in how the league and media are responding to incidents involving Reese. While Caitlin Clark was celebrated for her competitive fire in college, Angel Reese is often criticized for the same traits. This double standard became glaringly evident following the foul incident and the league's decision to investigate the Sky instead of punishing Clark for what many saw as a dirty play. The situation took another turn when Angel Reese seemingly broke her silence in a cryptic yet powerful tweet. She posted, "If it was me, I'd be called everything but a child of God." The tweet, which instantly went viral, resonated with fans who felt she was being unfairly targeted. It was a sentiment shared by many athletes, celebrities, and influencers, who have long noticed a pattern in how black women are treated in professional sports. Support poured in from fellow WNBA players, NBA stars, and fans across the country. Reese's supporters argue that the league is sending a dangerous message, that a confident, talented black woman who plays with passion and pride is somehow more problematic than the actions of others on the court. For some, it recalls similar situations involving athletes like Serena Williams, who faced harsh media criticism for showing emotion, or Sha'Carri Richardson, whose personality drew backlash despite her athletic achievements. The Chicago Sky organization, for its part, has stood by their players. Head coach Teresa Weatherspoon and assistant coach Pokey Chatman have both voiced their support for Reese and the team, stating that the league's focus should be on fairness and safety for all players, not just a select few. They called out the inconsistency in how fouls and aggressive play are being judged, demanding equal treatment across the board. The WNBA, which has been striving for increased visibility and respect, now finds itself in the middle of a PR firestorm. On one hand, the league wants to grow its audience and attract new fans, many of whom have come because of stars like Caitlin Clark. On the other hand, ignoring or mishandling incidents like this risks alienating the very players who have helped build the league's identity and fan base for years. This controversy has raised larger questions about race, gender, and respect in sports. Why are some players allowed to be passionate and outspoken while others are told to know their place? Is there an effort to silence or police certain players because they don't fit the mold of what's marketable or palatable for a mainstream audience? The league's handling of this situation could have lasting repercussions. If Angel Reese feels unsupported or unfairly treated, what does that say to future stars coming into the league? How does it reflect on the WNBA's commitment to inclusion, equity, and player empowerment? There is also concern about how media narratives are shaping public perception. Clips of the foul incident went viral, but many mainstream outlets either downplayed Clark's role or omitted it entirely, focusing instead on how Reese and the Sky responded. This selective reporting feeds into broader biases and continues to shape a narrative where certain players are always the aggressors and others are always the victims. What's clear is that the league must tread carefully, fans are watching closely, players are speaking out, and the lines between fair play, league politics, and media framing are becoming increasingly blurred. For now, Angel Reese continues to show up, compete, and represent not just her team, but an entire community of fans who see her as more than just a player. They see her as a symbol of resilience, authenticity, and the unapologetic pursuit of greatness. Whether or not the WNBA chooses to discipline Reese or her teammates, the court of public opinion is already making its judgment. The league has an opportunity here, not just to make the right call on one foul or one game, but to stand up for fairness, transparency, and the future of the sport itself. So the question becomes, will the WNBA rise to meet the moment, or will it allow its brightest stars to be dimmed by outdated standards and unequal scrutiny? As we await the league's decision, the sports world will continue to watch, closely, loudly, and unrelentingly. Because this isn't just about a single play. It's about who gets to play, how they're allowed to play, and who decides what greatness looks like. Stay tuned. This story is far from over.
I mean, What in the world is happening here? So Outkick would go on and say, hold up, let's rewind. Last June, Angel Reese claimed that a white Caitlin Clark fan blocked her and her teammates from entering a team hotel while calling her, quote, a ghetto bitch. Last month, Reese said she had a rough week because she heard a Fever fan shout racial slurs while she shot free throws. Now she says no one has ever said a mean word to her in person.
But it's more fun pushing a lie. It's more fun playing along, keeping your name in the news, keeping your name in the media, keeping your name around drama. It's what you love. It's what you enjoy the best. You don't pay attention to keyboard warriors. You don't pay attention to the internet. Well, why would we respond to people that we don't care about? Why would we subtweet about people that you don't care about if their opinions don't matter?